Hello everyone and welcome to chapter 2, section 7, discounts. This is we like thinking about discounts or how much money we're going to get, how much money we'll save, all of that stuff. So a little bit like what we talked about yesterday, discounts is the same thing as a percent decrease. So hopefully that decrease helps you remember to subtract. Okay? So our general rule for finding a discount is you can find the percent and then subtract. You subtract whatever the percent was from the original number. Okay, that's the basic idea. And then there are some variations, like if they give us the sales price and the percent and how we can go backwards, because that's a little bit tricky. Okay, so let's just practice some of these problems. First one says a DVD normally costs $22. This week it's on sale for 25% off. So it normally costs $22, and right now it is 25% off. Okay, so that means we're going to, if we follow this rule, we're going to find the percent, which means we need to change the percent to a decimal. So 25% is the same thing as 0.25 times 22, which comes out to be 0.25. 5.5. Now, is that our answer? No, if it's asking for what is the sale price of the DVD. So, sale price, question mark. Okay, what we just calculated is how much we are saving, which is nice to know, but that's not what the question is asking for. What it's asking for is what is the sale price, which means we're going to go from where we started, which is the $22, and we subtract the 5.5, and we get it's on sale for $16.50. Please remember, if you're dealing with money, particularly on MathSpace, you always have two decimal places. So if there isn't a second decimal place, put a 0 in. Otherwise, MathSpace gets mad. Okay, now remember there's two ways to calculate this, right? So we just did the subtracting of the actual numbers. We can also do the subtracting of the percents. Okay, the $22 we start with is our 100%, and the 25% off means we're going to be subtracting 25%. So I like to think that it's 25% off. We need to figure out how much it's on, or how much we do pay. So 100% minus 25% is 75%. So if we change 75% to a decimal, 0.75, multiply that to the 22, and it should come out to be the same thing, because math. Okay, look at that. Both ways, 16.5. Okay, and it's really important to think about it this way. It's 25% off, which means it's 75% on. Okay, and this is the number actually when we're going to be working backwards that we need. So this is a super important number to feel comfortable with calculating. So let's try it again. Number 2, a shirt is regularly priced at $42. That's the 2. How about we put the 4 down as well? Okay, it is on sale for 15% off the original regular price. What is the sale price? Okay, again, if it was just asking for how much do we save, totally just take the percent of the number and we are done. But that's not what it's asking for. It wants to know what the sale price is. So, two ways to do it. First way is change the percent to a decimal, 0.15 times 42. And this tells us how much it's off. So that's $6.3 off. And so now I need to figure out how much is left. So we do 42 minus the 6.3, and it still costs $35.70. Okay, so 2 steps that way, or we can do the subtracting with the percents first. So the 42 is 100% minus the 15%, which leaves us with 85%. Okay, so then we're going to change that to a decimal, 0.85 times the original 42, and it should come out to be the same. Let's find out. It's so exciting. Proving Mrs. Sanford. There's a negative on the top one just because I was too lazy to rewrite it. So I subtracted the 42 from the 6.3. But anyway, 35.7 is still the answer. So again, it's 15% off, which means it's 85% on. That's how much we actually pay. Okay, that's how I like to say it. I know it's kind of weird, but welcome to me. All right, next problem. This one has a couple of different steps. Okay, it says a boogie board that has a regular price of $69 is on sale at a 35% discount. What is the sale price with a 7% tax? So right now we literally really are doing what most cash registers now do for people that check you out, rather than people having to do the calculations on their own. Okay, so we have got 2 steps on this one. So we'll do the regular way first. I'm going to change 35% to a decimal, 0.35 times 69. Okay, so we're going to save $24.15. Sweet, that's nice. So next up, we have to do the subtracting. So 69 minus 24.15 gets us to 44.85. Okay, so that's our sales price, but are we done? No, we're not. We are not done, because now we need to have a 7% of that to add on to it for tax. So we will find 0.07 of 44.85 to find out what our tax is. And 0.07 times 44.85 equals, if we round up to the nearest cent, 3.14. I like that because that's pi. Okay, and so this is the sales price, this is the tax, and so the total price of sales tax of the sale price plus your sales tax adds up to be 44.85, and you're going to pay $47.99 all together. Ta-da! Okay, now that's doing it that way. Let's do it again, but this time we're going to do it with the subtracting the percents rather than subtracting the actual numbers. Okay, so first off, we need to find out how much, if it's 35% on, how much it's off. No, wait, excuse me, 35% off, we need to find out how much it's on. So 100% minus 35%, and that should get us to 65%. So this is how much we're actually paying for the sales price. So that means 0.65 times 69, and lo and behold, it's still 44.85. Okay, sweet. And then Adding in the sales tax, that means we need 100% of this one plus 7% tax, which means we need 107. So we need 100% of the sales price plus 7% for tax. So now we need to do a total of 107%, which is 1.07 as a decimal times the 44.85. And guess what? It comes out to be, I'm going to do it in the calculator just to prove it to you, 47. They are the same. What? I am not lying to you or nothing. Okay, so 47.99, either way we do it. Now, going from here, you might ask yourself, well, can I take the 35% off and then add in 7% back in? So I'm just taking less percent off. But think about it for a minute. Taking 7% of this number is different than taking 7% of this number. So let me just prove to you that you have to do, if you have multiple percents off and you're supposed to take them from different base numbers, that you can't add or subtract the percents that way, okay? So if we try to do that, so I'm gonna put, this is wrong, and let's just see. If we have a negative 35%, right, because that's how much we're subtracting, plus, actually, let's start with 100% because that's what we always start with, right? We started 100%. So 100% minus the 35% plus the 7%, okay? And that gets us, I'm just going to put that right into the calculator. So that's saying 72%. And that's how much we would be on. So let's see if that works out. Let's just see. So that would be 0.72 times the 69. 0.72 times 69. And it comes out to be 49.68. Okay, that is wrong. Okay, this is actually what we're going to be paying. This is having us pay more tax than we need to, if that makes sense. So if you do, especially if you do the assignment on math space, there's a problem or two that has you test this theory of whether or not, if you take the percents in order or not, if it makes a difference. And it does make a difference, okay? Go into it knowing that. All right, now here's the challenge. You have to pay attention to whether or not you get, it's giving you the sales price or the regular price. So I'm going to flip my page so that I can read you the story. The story problem says this cell phone is on sale for 30% off. Okay, so 30% off. And then the sale price, which means the discounted price, is, so I'm going to write this down and then I'll put it back up, $239.89. And it wants to know, okay, so it's 30% off and the sales price is here, and then it wants to know what is the original price. Okay, so this is when the percent off versus the percent on really makes a difference, okay? And also, we need to think to ourselves, the sales price, this is our part. So right now we have a percent and a part. So I think it's probably best if we kind of throw this into our percent proportion, okay? So what we're gonna do is actually, we need to find out what percent it's on. So if we start at 100% and we take 30% off, that means it's 70% on. Okay, so the 70% is our percent, so 70 goes over 100, goes over 100, and then the sales price, $239.89, is our part, and we're looking for the whole. Okay, so we multiply that by 100, which just gets rid of the decimals, and then we divide by 70, and that gets us to 239.89. 989 divided by 70. And the original price is $342.07, but I'm not going to leave it there because we want always to have 2 decimal places for our monies. Okay? So the original, so that's, that's a decent savings right there, friends. That makes you feel good. Okay? Let's try another backwards one. So that was number 4. This will be number 5. We're going to do, if you want to hear the story, we'll do the story. Or not. Here we go. Find the original price if the sale price. Find the original price if the sales price of a cell phone is this monies, but it doesn't give us a % off. So we were assuming, all right, we're going to assume a 25% off because that's what I did last year. Okay, so we have 25% off, and the sale price is $205.50, and we want to know what the regular price is. Okay, so again, we've got our %. The sales price is the part, and the whole is the regular price, except for this is the % off. The % that we need to put in the % proportion is the % that's on. So if it's 25% off, that means it's 75% on. That's how much we actually place. So the 75% is what that sales price is. So if we set up our proportion, we're going to have $205.50 over X equals 75 over 100. Okay, now if you're noticing a pattern, you could see that you can take the part and divide it by the %, and that gives you the decimal form, or no, then that gives you the whole, okay? So, or we can totally do the cross multiplying. I like it. It just takes the question out of it, really, right? So 205.5 divided by 75, and the regular price, calculator, is, I put something in there wrong. Oh, because I put in the decimals. I forgot to multiply it by 100. Haha, that makes sense. There we go. 274 and 20 cents. Again, with math space, you might get really mad if you don't put your cents on there. Okay. Let me make sure I did that right. 205.5. Yep, we're there. Cool. Okay. And then the last type of question, especially if you're doing it out of the book this time, is you actually want to do a comparison to see which gives you a better price. Okay, so Clothes R Us and Ratcliffe's are having sales. At Clothes R Us, a pair of sneakers is on sale for 40% off, regular price of $50. Okay, at Ratcliffe's, the same shoes are discounted 30% off, but the regular price is $40. So the question is, which store has a better price? So you got to figure out if having a more % off, but off of a higher original price is better or worse than having less of a % off, but starting at a lower price. So if there wasn't a sale, obviously we would go to this store to get the shoes. Okay, so if it's 40% off, that means it's 60% on. So I'm going to do 0.6 times 50. And the pair of shoes at this store costs $30. Ta-da! Okay, now over here, if it's 30% off, that means it's 70% on. So that's 0.7 times 40. And that is $28. So it's still cheaper to go to the second store. All right, so there you go. That's all about discounts and % and stuff.